Hello, Glen Lake families. What's happening at Glen Lake? Welcome to the Explorers Classroom Screencast, where we're going to let you know what our plans, goals, and some other things are for the upcoming school year.
This is an exciting year at Glen Lake Elementary. We have many classrooms that are set up in a multi-age format. What does it mean to multi-age? The multi-age philosophy stems from the belief that children develop at different rates. In a multi-age classroom, teaching focuses on individual development, developing lifelong real-world skills, and building community. Students work in flexible groups throughout the day to meet the needs of all students. Curriculum is taught in an integrated, thematic approach, using curriculum not as a guide, but as a supplement. Meet our team. This is our group of Explorer teachers that will be working with all of the first and second grade students this year.
Elizabeth Nemec,
Julie Schlecht,
Ann Cuffle,
Maria Williams,
Cindy Anderson.
these are our goals and aspirations for this school year. We have two goals. Our first goal is to meet all the needs of our learners academically, emotionally, and developmentally. Just think, this may look very different for each child because we really want to make sure we are meeting each and every student's needs. Our second goal is to integrate our learning through all subject areas and make every day a fun and engaging day. Our aspiration for this year and for the next few years in multi-age is to really foster kind humans who will be collaborative and contributing global citizens. The first learning block that we will look at for your child during their day of learning at school is the literacy block, which is working on our reading and writing skills. This block of time will last about 90 minutes of their school day. One part of that 90 minutes will be the whole class time that lasts for 15 to 20 minutes. During this time, you will have your child working on their reading comprehension, their grammar skills, and their writing skills. This will be introduced in the whole class setting, and then they will move into a group time for small group instruction. This time will last for 60 minutes of that block. In this time, your child will be working on individualized instruction that is right at their level. During this time, they may be meeting with a different teacher so that they are with students at their level. This is a time they will learn their phonics skills and their reading skills. During that time, if your child is not meeting with a teacher, they will be working on some different activities that will be independently done. It would be working on some word work skills that will reinforce their phonics skills they learned in the group, some writing skills, some of their reading skills that they've also worked on in their reading group, and Lexia, which also connects to their reading group. During this time, it will be all of their individualized learning. The last part of our reading block is our phonemic awareness activity. This again will be done mostly whole group. And during this time, we are working on skills that help your child to learn how to manipulate sounds and put words together by the sounds that they hear. This is what a day in reading looks like for your child.
We as Explorer teachers really believe in the importance of reading. Reading is the gateway for children that makes all other learning possible. We really want to emphasize the importance of reading at home, and there are a number of things that you can be doing at home to work on reading. Just make reading a part of your family time together. You may do this by reading bedtime stories, playing board games, going to your local library, maybe do some family cooking together and reading from a cookbook. Try finding a comfy reading space at home for your child to read. And put your child in charge of reading things such as the grocery list and the store, list at the store. Take a look at the chart on the right. This is some really important information that emphasizes the need for children to be reading at home. So for example, we have child A who reads for 20 minutes per day. By the end of the school year, they will have read for 3,600 minutes, which turns into 1,800,000 words they're going to be exposed to in that same school year. Standardized test scores indicate that a child that reads that often will score in the 90th percentile on standardized tests. Child B reads for 5 minutes per day. That means they would read for about 900 minutes per school year, and their words they're exposed to would be 282,000 words, and they would expect to score in the 50th percentile of standardized tests. And then we have child C, who reads only 1 minute per day, which equals about 180 minutes per school year, which then exposes them to 8,000 words per that school year. And they can be expected to score about in the 10th percentile on those standardized reading tests. So reading is important.
So now that we've talked a little bit about our literacy instruction, we're going to go into our math block. Math will be about 45 minutes to an hour every day. When we're in our whole class, some of the math units we'll be covering this year are geometry, place value, numbers and operations, measurement and data, and algebra. Students will be in math groups according to their current skill level for each of those units. We'll determine their skill level at the beginning and at the end of every unit. Finally, kids will be working independently to reinforce either the new skills they've learned or expand their existing math skills. Some options for independent work time may be IXL, playing math games, doing some problem solving, and practicing math facts. Now we're going to look at your Explorer's daily and weekly schedule. Every week, we will have art, music, Spanish, Phi-Ed, and media or library. Art will always be 1 day a week, and that will be 1 hour. The other specials, music, Spanish, Phi-Ed, and media, will all be twice a week, 30 minutes each time. One of your Explorer's media classes will involve checking out library books.
Every month you will receive a monthly communication calendar and newsletter for your Explorer. The calendar will include class birthdays, school events such as walkathons, PTO meetings. It will also notify you of specials and days that we are off of school. Our monthly newsletters will give you suggestions of things that you can work on with your Explorer at home, such as reading for 20 minutes a day, completing some math activities to reinforce the skills that we're learning in class. It will also include a QR code for our lunch and breakfast menus. It will cover our reading, math, and themes of the month under Grizzly Growths. It will also give you some examples of how we are differentiating our instruction in the classroom and things that you can do to practice those skills at home. In addition to our monthly calendars and newsletters, please make sure that you are checking Seesaw for communication from your teachers. Parents are always wondering what they can do to support their child's learning at home. Here are some examples for reading math, learning some independent skills, and reinforcing responsibility. For reading, have your child read 20 minutes a day. You can read to your child or have your child read to you. Reading out loud really helps their fluency improve.
For math talks are what we do in school, and you can do math talks at home too. Practice math facts while you're driving in the car, or let your kids count your change. Look at analog clocks, not digital, whenever you see one, and talk about the time on the clock.
In our Explorer classrooms, we are working on independent skills. Here are some things that you can have your child practice at home to reinforce those skills. Have your child practice tying their shoes. Open snacks and water bottles independently at home. Have them practice zip up their coats and put on their winter gear independently. We are really working towards independent problem solving in our Explorer's room. Let your child work through hard situations before jumping in to solve the problem. You can do this by asking them, how can you solve that problem?
Before talking about responsibility, I'll just jump in and say all 5 of us are parents, and we know how hard it can be to let your kids try to solve their own problems. But this is a lifelong skill you will be helping them learn. For responsibility, chores are a great way for them to learn how to be responsible, but make sure you choose things that they are able to do independently. Some examples might be to pack their own snacks for the day, or even pack their lunch for that day. Also, have them check their own backpacks to make sure they are ready for school. Instead of us hearing, my mom or my dad or somebody didn't pack that for me, they can take ownership and start to learn how to be responsible for their own stuff.
Please join us this Thursday, October 7th from 4 to 5 p.m. for our office hours. We will be there to answer any questions that you may have. You're also welcome to look this video over and watch it a couple times, see if that can answer any questions you have before the Google Meet. A link will be sent home to you that you can use to connect for office hours. We look forward to seeing you on Thursday.